that brings us to our movie of the week then, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So
Yeah,
let's
it is.
go ahead and drop that spoiler ticker across the bottom because we're going to
Yeah, we
go
dropped it.
super heavy spoilers throughout this discussion. So if you have seen the movie, then let's go tune in. If you haven't seen the movie yet, then come back and check this out another time. So you have been warned. And we will have a special guest with us. As always, you've seen him on Pop Culture Pros a bunch. We got Jader. Jader, what's up, man?
What up,
Jader.
guys? How are you, man?
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
I've been better, man. Been better. I've been feeling like shit for the past week.
Oh,
But
damn.
yeah, dude. Kind of. I don't know. I got a cold, and I probably hear it in my voice. And then I thought I was getting better, and then I decided to. I went to go see the movie. I wasn't feeling too well.
Mhm.
And then yesterday I got progressively worse at night, so I went to the urgent care. Turns out that I have flu with a fucking ear infection, so that sucks.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. Well,
No,
thanks
no,
for
you're
joining
good.
us.
No, but I had to.
We appreciate you pushing
Yeah.
through for tonight. So
I'm gonna be muting a lot because you're probably gonna hear me cough.
I got you. No, you got a glass of water or tea or something like that by you?
Yeah. I should actually. You know what? Give me a minute. I'm actually gonna go grab a bottle of water. Give me a second. Hold
Yeah,
on.
go ahead. We'll intro this thing a little bit while you're getting set up. All right, so yeah, so if you've seen it, I mean, the box office is looking pretty damn good for this thing.
Yep.
Over $100 million for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So it looks like Marvel is returning back to form for their box office form, at least, as well. The last I saw, Rotten Tomatoes, the critical was at 81%, which is pretty damn good. Audience score was like 97%. So it sounds like we do got that. Everyone's got that, is back to being hooked on a feeling.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
with the MCU as well. Jason, go ahead. Start us off with your overall thoughts, though, of the film. How about that?
I think this is the best Marvel movie since the end of the Infinity Saga.
Okay, since Avengers Endgame.
Like, since Avengers Endgame, yeah. I love this movie. I love it more and more that I think about it and talk about it. Walter and I, it's funny. I actually ran into Walter in the bathroom because he was seeing a show previous to us, but he was in the stall, so I didn't say anything because I was walking out. I'm not going to go, yo, bro, yeah, that's fucking weird.
That's guy code. We know not to do that.
We know not to do that. But the next day, it was like, we talked about the movie, and yeah, I love this movie. I actually think that I'm going to say that my favorite consistently like good property, like not the, I mean the solo stuff, not like the Avengers stuff. I think like my favorite solo property is this in the MCU. Like, I think I like it better than the Iron Man stuff. As much as I love Iron Man 1, if I'm talking about the 3 movies, it's Guardians, Thor, no fucking contest, because the first 2 Thor movies exist. And I could go on, but I don't have to. Like, I just think I just really love the fucking the MCU in space. Like, I didn't as a kid. I'm really loving it now, and I'm really sad that this is the last time we're going to see this version of the Guardians.
Okay. Jada, what were your overall thoughts on this one?
I loved it, man. I loved it. It was such an incredible journey. Very somber film throughout. Had its moments, obviously, had its funny moments, but very, very somber. I thought about you guys a lot, and we'll discuss it later.
Oh yeah,
but
we have some receipts.
yeah, absolutely. I thought the use of the song "Creep" was so beautifully executed, and it fit that character of Rocket so well, and him just hanging and just starting the film that way. I was getting chills. I'm like, oh, I'm in, man. I'm all in. You already got me with the music, which was fantastic throughout as well. I have my notes, which we'll discuss what I didn't like about the film, because it wasn't a perfect film for me. Hell of a lot better than 2, and now I love 2, but I thought, like, upon first watch, I feel like I've only seen it the one time. I feel this movie is just going to be climbing up the MCU ranker for me the more I watch it, because there's probably things now that I'm gonna get that I didn't get up just with the first watch. I thought every single one of their Guardians had a moment to shine. They had their badass moment. And just everything about it, man. It was just the perfect send-off film. And one of the things is that, again, with our group chat where Bert's like, "You're gonna cry," I was expecting it to be a lot more sad than it was, at least for me. And I understand it was sad for certain people. In fact, I had a friend just text me. She saw it. She took her family to go watch it, and because she asked me, she's like, "Hey, I heard it's a little rougher compared to other MCU films." And then I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? What's that?" She goes, "Oh, I heard it's a little gorier, and it's very." I'm like, "It's a somber film." Her daughter's 8, so she was kind of worried about her daughter because her daughter has this thing with animals, and I'm like, it does have animal cruelty in it. So just fair warning. I'm like, graphic wise, I'm like, it has like 1 or 2 scenes. It's nothing crazy in my opinion. But again, this is coming from the guy that lets his kids watch Scream and Halloween and all that shit. So, like, I didn't see anything too bad. But she texts me and she's like, "I teared up like 10 fucking times. I don't know what you're talking about." Oh, because I told her, "You're cold-hearted. You'll be fine." And then she's like, "I teared up like 10 times. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, maybe I'm just different. I don't know. I know we're going to discuss probably favorite scenes. I don't know if it's going to be unanimous with the scene that I love, but again, we'll get there when we discuss that. But there was just so much great and very, very little to hate on this film, which is for me something perfect to with the third film in a franchise. I don't get it. Probably gets it's usually the toughest one. Usually by the third movie is where it just declines, because the sequel usually sometimes could be a little bit better, and then the third part is it's tough to still have this magic or make you feel like something's still fresh. And I think Gunn definitely pulled it off. I think he did. It was like a perfect send off to Gunn, to the Guardians, to everything, and then what the future holds for them, que será, we'll see. But I think that overall, like, he knocked it out of the park. He definitely did.
Yeah, I agree. I'll definitely echo that part of it too. I think this is my favorite MCU film since Spider-Man: No Way Home, and we all had that. Yeah,
it's not even a contest in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'll even say this because I did get to see it I saw it again this morning
today, right?
Yeah, so I've seen it twice now. It's very close to Spider-Man: No Way Home for me. It actually the gap closed a little bit further, so it's very close.
Yeah.
So
I know that upon rewatch it's gonna be, and that's why I said what I said, because I know it's gonna get better.
Yeah, and it definitely did for me. I am an animal lover myself, so I will say, there are certain scenes that are a little bit rough for that, just because it mainly about when the things that happen with Rocket, and it's him, and then you see him like crying, curled up. And he's like, when he's telling, it's like it hurts, and with his head, you can tell they just cut open his head and everything.
Yeah,
that's the parts that's there. But I think that James Gunn have made some smart choices of what to show and not to show it. A lot of it's alluded to.
Yeah.
Kind of like the shower scene in Psycho, where you don't actually see the knife going in, but it is alluded to, and you feel like you saw it. So that's what I think that was like.
I also think it's made better for me by the fact that this movie is making social commentary about like the evils of animal testing and corporations trying to play God. So the fact that it is making that comment, I kind of am like, some of these scenes are uncomfortable, but they're supposed to be, because the movie is telling us that this is wrong.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah.
And I guess also too is for children, I think children can see it. I think you just kind of like know your kid and stuff, and heads up with what they can.
It'll be it's like around the in my opinion, like the movie is PG-13. You're supposed to wait till you're 13, but come on, it's an MCU film. You're gonna take your young ones to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was only actually the ending with the I keep calling him the High Priest, the High Evolutionary. where you actually see his face.
I'm so high, guys.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, they did that. Like, and again,
that was brutal. That was brutal.
That was brutal. But at the same time, I'm like, it kind of looks like Red Skull if you think about it.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Kind of been done. But coño, man, I had something to say.
So is this, by the way, I want to ask you this: is this the first time we've had the F-bomb in an MCU movie?
Yep,
very first one.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Look, we've made history, gentlemen.
Yeah. This is the very first time. I saw an interview with Pratt. I don't know if it was on Kimmel or Fallon. It was one of the Jimmys, and he was saying, because I think it was Kimmel. No, not Kimmel. Whatever. It's one of them. They interviewed him about that because that was word going around town that they're like, I think MCU has the very first word of the F-bomb. And that apparently Kevin Feige went up because Pratt said he's been trying to do it for so long and they always edit it out. But he's like, it's not the first time that I've tried to improvise the F-bomb in there, but they don't let it
they don't let it stay.
They keep taking it out. So whatever. So apparently everything was going really well on set, this and then he improvised that line and they laughed so hard that they're like, all right, maybe we can keep it. And they showed it to Feige, and Feige went to, I don't know if it was one of them, I don't know if it was Gunn, I know it wasn't to Pratt, I don't know if it was to both of them or just James Gunn. And then he's like, do you really want to be the guy that does the really first F-bomb on an MCU film? Like, he goes, yeah. That's exactly what I want. Yeah.
100% what fucking Gunn wants. Absolutely.
Exactly. Now, my only semi complaint with that is that I really wanted it to go to Deadpool first.
Yeah, I can.
So I did want it to go. I wanted it to be like in the very beginning, starts off maybe with the word fuck, and he just kind of looks at the camera and he's like, take that, Feige, or something like that, like or something like that. Or I was even thinking, like, this was way back before, I was thinking that maybe Deadpool is in a movie with the MCU, but it is a PG-13 movie. And, they're fighting. He's like, can I say it now? Or something like that. And then they're like, no. And then whatever. And then after something goes down, he just goes, fuck, like that. Like, he goes, I get one. And then like that, like, something like that along the lines. But, this was great. I thought it was really funny the way that they used it. But yeah, it was the first F-bomb.
Because I didn't think he was going to say it, honestly. I just that scene, it comes in so like out of nowhere, because you can tell he's frustrated and everything. It's just like, open the fucking door. And you're like, all right, that's just happened.
Shit. Yeah. No, that my theater exploded with that scene.
Yeah.
Everybody was cracking up when that scene came on.
So I guess we can also talk about, like you mentioned, it is a more somber film, but it has a lot of times where I think the ultimate thing is when you look back on it, and I felt this more the second time, was you do feel like a somewhat bittersweet thing, because I felt happy kind of at the end of it. Just you got to see, like you said, it's because they got a perfect send off. Everyone leaves, and we can address the death pool that we had going. So we had a death pool going. We did.
That's why I was thinking about you guys the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? Because me and you had the same. Well, me and you had the same ones, and then he had somebody specifically that he said. So when they're in that scene with Nathan Fillion, and which was fantastic. I love that scene throughout.
I love Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, and you see Drax get shot and goes down, and then they pick him. Mantis is screaming and panicking. Picks him up and he gets shot in the back, and I'm like, I knew it. But the next scene, Drax is fine, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then obviously, yeah, exactly. And then you have fast forward your big scene with Rocket, and then that happens, and then, but let me tell you, I started doubting myself like midpoint towards the movie, because he's gone from the very beginning of the movie, So I was like, okay, might not be Rocket.
Because they're not going to kill him.
They're not gonna have him in his deathbed throughout the film. But then part of me was like, James Gunn is a cynic, so he'll probably bring him back like he did, and then boom, they kill him anyway. You're like, well, what the like? We thought he was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Ends up everything's fine, right? And then the Quill scene. when the Quill scene happened, I'm like, Jason got it
Mhm.
right. What the fuck?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I was like,
Exactly.
what the fuck? In my head, and big part of me, I bought it. I really, because usually I'm like,
yeah.
They
nah,
got me. They
he's
had
fine.
me there.
They got me. They really did get me. Where I'm
admit it.
like,
I completely forgot Adam Warlock was around, so I was like,
yes,
"How the fuck's he gonna
yes,
get out of this?"
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, who the fuck? Now I'm like, there's no way. So I forgot about Adam Warlock, which is one of my complaints with the film was the character of Adam Warlock, which we'll
get to
discuss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but actually, before we move on from that scene, right?
Yeah.
So I've said on the show before that James Gunn has drawn inspiration from a show called Farscape, late 90s, early 2000s. That scene is completely inspired by an episode where the main character finds himself on a ship that's about to explode with another ship drifting away, and he has to use his momentum and some steam to get himself through the expanse of space into the other ship. And which is why I was surprised, because I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They're doing that. And then when Quill got stuck, I was like, oh my God, are they going to use my favorite show to kill Quill? No.
Yeah, I fully admit it. I thought Quill was biting it, and that was it. And
I was like, that's it. I'm like, this is the big surprise. They're going to kill fucking Quill.
So Jader, I think I was the same. Jason and I talked about it after the movie. I was the same way. The first time I saw it, and you'll see when you guys see it again, obviously you're not on that thing, but I was thinking about the ongoing death pool throughout the movie. And there was a couple of times, even in the beginning, for a quick second, I was like, wait, are they killing Rocket in the first couple of minutes of this movie?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, then Drax, and then Peter, and everyone. I was almost like, I was scared for everyone to die throughout the entire film. And
seriously,
you would almost think James Gunn was doing this on purpose to fuck with everyone. And then we're talking spoilers. At the end of the movie, everyone survives, and
they all make
a lot of happy endings. Everyone gets like a cool, nice thing.
They all make it, which is fantastic. Which is part of me, like I'm known for this. I like sad, depressing endings in films. It just ups it for me. I don't know why I'm such a, I'm cynical that way, but I always like movies with sad endings in them.
Well, because you don't get it that often, also.
Yeah, exactly. So in a non-perfect world, we live in a non-perfect world, and for me, I think it really took me by surprise because we were all expecting a sad ending. Every single one of us. And the fact that we got the opposite, it was a rough road to get to the ending. But at the end of everything, we ended up getting a happy ending. I was like, I like this. I guess I like the element of surprise.
And we were all shocked by
I was completely shocked. I was completely shocked because I knew if you would have told me, safe bet, a $20 bet, does one of the Guardians bite it? At least one? Easily. I was like, 20. Take my bank account.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did.
I'd have dropped 20 on that.
He was like, I can pay my rent this month. It's okay. I haven't been on the damn Guardians dying.
Yeah. I'm like, one of them is gonna get it. One of them. And the fact that it didn't happen, I was like, holy, it took me by surprise where I'm like, I like this ending so much more, But
well,
so did we.
Me and Jader did. Jason, Tim, you should drop him. Who did you have? We both had Rocket and Drax dying. Jason had Quill dying. So I don't know who Tim.
Which were the three that were the closest to biting it? Which is crazy.
Yeah, so we weren't that far off.
Yeah.
See, the thing about the ending, oh, that's weird. My thing is, I don't mind if it's a happy ending or a sad ending. It has to be an earned ending, and that's what I like about this. This was an earned ending. Like, had they killed half the Guardians off, I'd have been kind of pissed because I'd have been like, that's not where this was building to. This was not the message that they were sending. So I'm actually very happy with the ending.
Yeah. No, touche. So am I. Absolutely.
So where do you guys think we all got this death pool idea from? Do you think it was the trailer, or we just
It was a
trailer, right?
Yeah, it was a trailer, and then them saying that this was
Face
the last
music
ride.
Yeah,
exactly. Not only that, and we know James Gunn loves to kill characters. We said this last episode.
Yeah.
So he likes to do that. It's what his MO is. So
let us not forget the first 10 minutes of the Suicide Squad, where he kills every single one of the Suicide Squad, except for Harley Quinn.
That's what I mean.
So Tim also mentioned here, no tears for me. So Angie, my wife Angie, who loves the MCU and everything like that, and specifically the Guardians also, Jason started with her too.
Mm-hmm.
She cried throughout the whole first time she saw this movie. She came out like you could see she's been crying for 2.5 hours.
So my theater didn't really have that. Again, people are weird here. They're not as engaged in theaters and in movies. Like I mean, when did I move here? February? I forgot I think I moved here from Quantum Mania, and we've seen pretty much almost every movie that has come out since, right? Excuse me. Big films, at least. And I haven't heard a crowd really engage. John Wick 4, people were cheering and clapping and oh shit, like that's probably the only one. But other than that, like it's very quiet. Even with Scream, like quiet, you know. And this was one of them as well. My friend saw it, and she said that her theater had a lot of here in Odessa had a lot of people crying, because when I walked out that day, I didn't see any tears or anything like that. But, oh no, that when Bird asked me, what about the theater? I was like, no, they were normal, you know.
No, my wife was bawling the whole time. I think I didn't, because I was more on the shock value of waiting for somebody to die, so I was almost like preoccupied with that.
Yeah,
but she also said she cried the second time, not as much.
Wow.
But she still got choked up the second time.
Wow.
So I don't know, maybe she's a crier.
Wow.
But no, she also really enjoyed it. But I think other aspects, we want to go through character arcs and hit a lot of them.
let's talk character. I think this is the one that we should talk character.
So let's start with Peter Quill. Let's get started with him, who we kind of felt like, you know, the first couple were his story and stuff like that, and we do pick up where he is drinking like tremendously, and he's heavy, and he's passed out when Adam Warlock shows up to, you know, basically almost kills Rocket and destroys the fucking team. I mean, we'll get into Adam Warlock shortly in more detail, but when that whole thing happens, Quill's fucking drunk and passed out and everything, blames himself throughout the film. It even seems like he has like some survivor's remorse going on.
Which I like that. I like that doesn't get forgotten, you know, because it's part of why he pulls his shit together by the end. Yeah,
exactly. And he mentions what he did in Infinity War, also, you know, somewhat half jokingly there, but he does mention it.
He mentions it.
No, he does.
He mentions it. He straight up says it. Like, I almost destroyed the universe.
Yeah,
you know.
And the stuff in a lot of his journeys, his best friend, or according to Drax, his second best friend.
Love that.
Second best friend.
Fucking love that.
On his deathbed, most of it. But a lot of it is revolving around Gamora and him still dealing with the loss of Gamora, and kicks up a notch when new Gamora is around him, and it's fucking destroying him when she just keeps on getting his name wrong and just doesn't give a fuck and keeps telling him that essentially, dude, I don't know you, man.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know you.
Barely met him. This is not the Gamora that met him on the planet and where her and Rocket and them all got sent to prison. Like, this is a Gamora before that. Like, she barely knows him.
Yeah. Which is, I know we're kind of, obviously we're talking two characters now. One of my favorite things was that as well. And that goes with the unhappy ending side of me, where I'm like, I like that, because it was kind of like the, are they not? Is it going to happen?
Unspoken thing that they talked about. Yeah.
We're expecting it to, at the end, them, you know, her fall because the whole thing was him, just give me a shot and I'm going to show you how she fell in love with me, you know? And essentially it gets close.
Well, she acknowledges that it could happen, which I love. Like, she doesn't give into it. They're not back together. That wouldn't have been earned. But she's like, it must have been fun. Right. And that, like, just the acknowledgement that, it existed and it was good, but I'm still not that person. Yeah. I love that. And then when we see her at the end, I think this is a really important Gamora character thing. When she goes back to the Ravagers, she's home.
She's home.
That Gamora's family.
The way that they're hugging her and all that shit, and you just see this smile on her face. because she's kind of a bitch throughout the whole movie. Like she sucks.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
But in a great way. You get me? Like,
Yeah.
like she's
Well, I
just
mean,
that hardcore. Yeah. Of course. So I'm like, it must be. Imagine being that person where it's an infatuation at this point, or you know, just somebody very, very in love, where she's like, dude, I'm not that person, man. You need to chill, and this and that. But I love that it you know, as the film progresses, she learns how to speak Groot. Like she understands him at the end of the film.
That was,
and I thought that was such,
cool.
how she answers her back and then she kind of like checks herself, like, oh shit,
yeah,
you know,
because she's getting aggravated with it earlier. She's like, yes, we know who you are. You're Groot. Great.
Yeah.
Well, by the end of the movie, she realizes that she does have a place on the ship. It's not her family, and it's not necessarily where she's going to be, but she sees that there is potential for a place, you know, and she kind of sees that, I can see how I became that Gamora. I'm not anymore, but you know what? There's still some roots there. So I thought that was super interesting.
No, it was. And the part where Peter comes back to life and they are all hugging, and even the awkward Warlock hug, she still doesn't do it. Because it's not her
walks away, you see her in the back. Yeah.
She's just kind of in the back standing there, and she just kind of walks away. She acknowledges how much they love each other and how much that team, how they are family, essentially. But I loved the fact that they didn't do that. You know, it was funny, obviously, when even Warlock shouldn't have done that shit. You get me? But you know, it was a funny moment. Yeah, it was for comedy. Yeah, exactly. But I like the fact that they kind of kept it that way throughout. It wasn't a like Jason was saying earlier. It was earned. Her character, her arc was definitely earned. You know.
Yeah, and I think it also, a thing we talked about the last couple of weeks is that there's some fans who have complained that in the first two Guardians and Infinity War that the MCU Gamora was not the Gamora they read in the comics. Kind of seems like this Gamora is a bit more at home with the comics Gamora. And I read Guardians of the Galaxy for 2 years when the movie was announced. So just to get a flavor of what these guys are like. And I could co-sign on that. This is definitely more in line with the Gamora that would be from there. So you kind of satisfied that part as well. And I agree with you guys. I'm glad they didn't get together at the end. They were like, hey, we're cool. It's okay. I don't have to be a total dick to you anymore. But I'm still not that person.
I'm not there. Yeah.
I'm not there. That's it. I'm not that person. We didn't have that experience. So that's that. The only person she has the same relationship with is Nebula. They saw their quick nod thing.
Because,
that was it.
That grunt.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, you know, let's just jump on Nebula, man. What an arc. I'm telling you, she just gets better every film, in my opinion. This has been the best Nebula for me. Yeah. I loved Nebula in this film. I loved the only thing that I don't want to say it got annoying, but they yell a hell of a lot more to each other in this film than they have in any other film. It's like it was nonstop yelling at each other. But the fact that, you know, Nebula being the way that she is, well, one of the scenes, I don't want to say broke me, but one of the scenes where I was like, hell yeah, was when she hears Rocket's voice. When he comes back.
She cries.
And she cries. And I'm like, what? That was
Nebula.
Great.
Nebula has, I think, the most character growth. Like
since the first
one. Yeah. Like she's amazing in this. I love her in this because she's invested. She's part of the family. And she used to be a bad guy. She's been trying to kill the family, but now we see the repercussions of her making peace with Gamora in the last one. And those repercussions are she's opening herself up to have a family now. And even what she goes off to do at the end, like she leaves the Guardians, but she does so she can take care of the bigger family of Nowhere. She can take care of like that town and build up that town and protect those people. Like she really does become a fucking good guy at the end of this, you know? I mean, and I think her character arc is the most beautiful of any of the Guardians throughout this trilogy.
She's even suggested to potentially be the leader of the new Guardians team. If you recall, they slip in a line there where someone were kind of like, "You're right. Well, you should go ahead and lead it." And that's when she says, "I'm going to go to Nowhere. And I'm going to, I kind of got bigger fish to fry than that." Yeah. Which I agree with you guys is pretty awesome. And the upgrades that Rocket did to her left arm. Pretty fucking sick.
Oh my god,
that was sick.
What's the Terminator Dark Fate because it's not the T1000, it's the one after that. It kind of reminded me of how her arms were doing it. I'm like, that is badass, bro.
It was whatever the hell she needed to be.
That
it was like,
so cool. That was so cool, dude.
And I love the friendship with her and Rocket, like you guys were talking about. Like, she gets all choked up when he's back, and like she's just as invested in saving him as Quill is. Like, you know, she's balls to the wall ends of the
she's
earth.
all in. Yeah.
Yep.
She's all in as well. Bro, she was great. Mantis, I'm telling you, every single one of them had their moment to shine. Mantis being what you would say like the heart, even though Rocket's the heart, but she's the one that wants everything to be all right. She's like, why are we yelling at each other? We're supposed to be working as a team. The fact that, you know, she stands up for Drax while Nebula is fucking just railing him. And Drax never has her back ever.
No, never.
You know,
like
Drax is the fucking worst.
Yeah. So until the very, very end. But Drax always, you know, obviously it's on her case and usually treating her as Nebula is treating him. And the fact that she stands up to him with, you know, like I mean, stands up to Nebula was great. Now, one thing I will say is they didn't really emphasize too much on the whole Peter and her brother. Yeah, like
they name drop it, I think, to kind of
in the very beginning. My brother turns to me and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, you didn't see the holiday special? Fuck, I fucked up." And then he goes, "They're brother and sister?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Oh, okay." And then at the end, he was like, "What changed, dude? Nothing changed, in my opinion, except for her telling him that she needed to see his grandfather."
You should have him watch the holiday special though, because they emphasized it more in that. Well, we were talking about that too. Was what was the required watching going into this? Obviously, the first two Guardians movies, because it's tied into that holiday special. Holiday special will tell you that they're on Nowhere and why they're there.
Basically, it's that Cosmo
and a Kevin Bacon Easter egg at the end,
which you get at the very, very end, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Because again, people didn't get it, and I was like, "That's funny."
It went right over Rick's head, completely over Rick's head, because we were chatting previously. Yeah, and Cosmo, which we'll get to shortly, but I adored. But
of course,
no, I did. Of course, you knew that was coming.
I want to say, since we're talking about Mantis, I really like that she comes into her own in this movie. Like, her power is like she kicks some ass, like, with her power, even though her power is a more passive power. Like the fact, you know, when she redirects the guy to be in love with Drax again, every time. Every time.
I loved that. And her holding her laughter back as they're walking.
Which I loved also seeing that Mantis has apparently been fucking with him a lot more. You know, off screen, which I like a lot.
I love it. And then when they're fighting and she's getting people to fight against each other with her powers, I thought that was great. And then you realize that, but like, her greatest superpower is seeing the best in people or creatures, right? Because you have the scene with her and Drax and Nebula where she calls Drax stupid, but he loves us and he's really sweet and this and that. And you know, this is the best parts of him. And then at the end, she pretty much becomes Daenerys Targaryen with these like fucking battery-eating worms.
From the second one.
From the second one, which were literally creatures they were afraid of and fighting and trying to kill in the second one. In this, she has seen the best in them, the beauty in them. She has bonded with them, and they have become friends. Like, that's her power. Her power is she brings the best out in things, you know. And I love that they explore that throughout this movie, and it ends with her going off with these seeming monsters.
And I guess that naturally brings us to Drax, who, again, you know, he does more. He's more than just. There's plenty of comedy relief with Drax in this. He also kicks some fucking ass finally, and you get some more. He even refers to himself as Drax the Destroyer.
He got some Destroyer in this one,
because that opening scene when he's the only one who can really go toe to toe with Adam Warlock, which we'll talk about him, but Adam Warlock is extremely powerful, and Drax starts fucking him up, and he's the first one where Adam Warlock is like, "Oh shit,
I gotta take
this guy, I need to fucking throw down now," and he takes a beating from Adam Warlock, and also kicks serious ass throughout this movie, Drax, and did awesome fucking fight scene at the end, which was sick, and the way it was shot.
Oh, that
from
fight
one to another was
the hallway. Yeah, that hallway scene is.
They got their hallway fight scene.
That's what I was gonna say. That is my favorite scene of the movie. I thought we were gonna jump on that.
Yeah, we could later.
Yeah.
Well, we can focus on Drax, but Drax's whole thing, the whole second best friend he keeps dropping in when he's just chilling in the background listening to them.
He's my best friend. Second best friend.
Great, man. The Zargnut thing, which is also was in the holiday special.
That's in the holiday special as well.
Yeah, and he mentions when Manta's like, "Well, what if I wanted one?" Because they're all gone.
They're all gone.
He's on such a dick.
He's such a dick.
No, and for me, just piggybacking off of that, just the very end where she's like, "You were put on this planet to be a father, not a destroyer," and I was like, "Fuck!"
It's a beautiful moment, right? And it harkens back to where Drax gets his power from, which is his family, right? That's the original source of his power is his family. It's beautiful.
And Drax has that big moment where they're saving all the children from the High Evolutionary, and no one can understand what they're saying and stuff like that, and then choop choop. Was it chip, or whatever?
Yeah.
And he, by the way, he's just all of a sudden is just like, "Yeah, I speak."
Talking to and then they're like, "Why did you tell us? You didn't ask.
Nobody asked." Like, again, just such a dick at the same time. But he's, and he's like, "Oh well, my daughter used to love it when I made sounds of a monkey," and then he starts doing something that is
he starts doing the robot.
Yeah, basically. And I think it was it Nebula? It was just like, that sounds nothing like a monkey. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't
sharing them up.
But yeah, they had major moments, man. Every single one of them.
Yeah. And I guess we could also talk about Groot in this movie. So Baby Groot, long gone.
Felt like he was kind of left. This is the one Guardian I feel was kind of left in the back burner.
Okay. More than the other ones,
more than the other ones, because he's usually front and center with the Guardians films, right? Mm-hmm. I felt like this one is the one that he's kind of like, again, and it's not so much. You get a lot of Groot in this film, and one of my favorite moments in this film, which you see Peter giving him the guns, he goes, "You know what to do with these," and then at the end you see him fucking branch out.
Awesome.
I think that's one of the coolest scenes when he pulls out like those 6 guns. You're like, holy shit!
Yeah. And he hands Peter his, and they're just like spinning around shooting. That was sick.
Dude. So sick.
Awesome.
So he has one of the best moments. But one of my things for me was all right, so we're obviously going to jump into Rocket and whatnot, but we have a lot of Rocket backstory, right? Which was essentially, it's a tragedy, right? I kind of wanted, and I know maybe it wasn't I don't want to say the theme of the film, because by the end it is a happy ending, but throughout Rocket's tragedy, I would want to see how eventually life got better for him when he met Groot. Just a little quick flashback. I thought that it would have been very fitting, in my opinion, and we didn't have that. Like, I thought we were essentially going to that, how yes, pre-Guardians, this was my life, then I became something. But now I have my best friend, or friends, if you will. But how he met Groot, I felt like a little quick flashback or something like that. I think it would have been dope, man.
I think it's something
I agree.
They still could potentially explore, because again, we're talking spoilers. At the end of the movie, when Rocket becomes the new captain, the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, he has a pretty jacked up Groot with him, bro. Like super fucking jacked Groot. I still think, I'm hoping that we get more of an explanation. But I agree with you, Jader. Like, that was the one thing that has never really been touched on throughout any of these Guardians stories.
And I think this was the place to do it, because we did get to see him leave like his old life. Just a scene of, as you're right, just a scene of him meeting Groot, just a scene of him and Groot together, something to connect to
that light, to the present. How the present got. I mean, the present got better for him.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one of the things. That was one of the. I wish they had done that. That would have been really cool. Moment, and maybe it was there. Maybe they just cut it because it was too long or whatever.
Right.
I don't know, but I felt like it would have been really, really fitting, since we were touching on Rocket's, moments. What about Adam Warlock ripping Groot's head off in the beginning of the movie, where I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I was like, "There's no way."
Again?
not as scary.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like the Thing, the head. From the Thing,
Yes.
when it was walking around.
I thought we were just gonna have the Groot head the whole movie. I was like, oh come on, man.
Yeah, not again with this. But another thing with Groot, by the way, we can talk Rocket too, is with Groot when he says, "I love you guys." So I thought it was interesting that James Gunn, I had read, James Gunn said that that's the audience knowing and understanding Groot at this point. So apparently he literally does say, "I am Groot" again. That is us finally being able to understand him, which I found fascinating.
That's awesome.
And that is awesome. Yeah,
that is very awesome.
That's pretty awesome. And it was the one time I can say I really heard Vin Diesel's voice. Come through, which I don't care. It's not a thing, but I was like, that's Vin Diesel.
You think they had to pay him another $20 million to record another line that isn't "I am Groot"?
I am Groot.
Yeah. He was on He was on a Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. He was mentioning recently about all the different ways he's had to say it, and apparently a lot of it
Mandarin.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, a lot of it was for the international. So shit! Saying that, which I never thought about before.
Yeah. I didn't either. I take it back. The man's earned his paycheck. I gotta stop shitting on Vin Diesel. I actually like Vin Diesel. I don't know why I'm always so hard on him.
Because he's an easy target.
He is an easy target, and I don't like the Fast and Furious movies, and that is what I associate with him. So I'm like, but yeah, I mean,
who doesn't? To be honest with you,
that's what he's known for. It's the thing,
right? Exactly.
I actually do like the Fast and Furious movies, all up to 7. 8 was fine, and 9 I detested. I ripped that movie apart during our review. But some way, somehow, they got me excited for this next one. So I am pretty excited to see 10.
Justin, you think you're out, they pull you back in.
Yeah, Jason Momoa, Gasolina.
And you want to know what it's about, man? Fucking Jason Momoa, man. It's just a perfect fit to that world. But I know we're not talking obviously Fast 10, but the one thing that I hate about these movies is that they grab a badass villain, and by the next film, they're part of that team.
Oh, they're family. They're family.
We're family. You know,
this guy literally is family. Isn't he Vin Diesel's brother?
Isn't John Cena his brother?
John Cena's his brother.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't know. He's probably a lot. He's got a brood of brothers.
Oh, fuck Tim, bro. Fuck
I also hate Olive Garden. So
Tim knows I was out after the first Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh, that's right.
I was. I'm that guy. I am
that guy.
I admit it. It's fine. I'm that guy.
Oh, but you gotta at least watch 5. It's great.
Imagine you telling me that in the middle of a series. By the way, watch the 5th one.
You can kind of like skip all the other ones and watch.
It doesn't matter, right? Like, you can jump in whatever the fuck you want. Who cares?
No,
Look, if you like Guardians, you'll love them going to space.
Yeah, there you go. So talking more Rocket, since he is the heart and soul of this film, and a lot of times he's laying on deathbed throughout this movie, and we're learning about his life at the High Evolutionary, the stuff he never wanted to talk about in the first 2 movies, and even the team acknowledges we don't know anything about him because he never wants to talk about it until later on when they get the file on him and they're watching it and their faces are in fucking horror about what they're watching with him. They're like, oh my god! And even horrified. Nebula says, "This is worse than what Thanos did to me." And Thanos, and she's alluded to that. Well, yeah, exactly. That's huge because she's talked about that forever, even in this movie.
Even in this movie, someone says "nice eyes," and she goes, "Yes, Thanos removed my own and put in cybernetics."
Quill. It's like
which is hilarious.
Black they are. Yeah, that moment's awesome. But he's kind of just like, look at the sister. It's the start of a porn film. But yeah, no, agreed, man. Let's touch on. I know we're talking Groot, but I mean Groot. We're talking Rocket, but Rocket and Lila are
the 4 of them are so cute.
Linda Cardellini killed that character.
They all got killed.
By the way, when I found out that was her, I was so happy.
Linda Cardellini killed that.
Yeah.
It was so. Obviously, I already hinted what my favorite scene was. My second favorite scene was, and it was so brutal. It was that when he starts making the key and he's trying to get everybody out, and the High Evolutionary comes and they all get murked.
Yeah,
I was like, what a powerful scene. It was so well written out.
Yeah.
The emotions were there. You can see why Rocket becomes the way that he is. Obviously, he rips the High Evolutionary's face right after that.
I love that. He just fucking goes feral.
Just fucking did not fucking care, you know? Fucking
I think, and in his mind, he's like, I'm going to hell tonight. I'm dying tonight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I even loved when we see what he did to his face later on.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you then. Yeah. That's what you get, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I thought all those scenes with the past and even her when essentially he's dying or dies. And she's there to meet him, you know, and the pearly gates are, you know, animal heaven or what have you. When she's meeting and then Teef, Floor, and Lila are there, and she tells him, like, he's like, oh, I want to come home. She goes, oh, you will. She goes, but not yet. It was kind of like a gladiator moment, you know.
Yeah.
And she stops him and she goes, you know, you have a bigger mission to do. We'll see each other soon, but it's not yet. Not soon, but we'll see each other again, but not yet. Which kind of like, if you go back, right, to Guardians 1, right, and the scene where Drax and Rocket are fighting, and Rocket says, I asked to be made. You know, everybody just points and laughs at me and all that. It just has a whole new meaning to that scene because now we know what Rocket went through. And it just makes that scene so much sweeter. Because I got home and watched Guardians as soon as I got home. I laid in bed and I started watching it again. And that scene kind of like, boom, jumped at me. And I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, it's just fantastic writing throughout.
She has a big line in that scene, too, where she even tells him, like, it's been your story the whole time. You just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And James Gunn he tweeted the other day. He said that this has been Rocket's story and that Rocket's story is his story. You know, essentially. And I thought that was pretty heavy.
Wow. Yeah, that is interesting.
That is very heavy.
Yeah.
Holy shit, yeah.
And that moment, too, where it's a very heartwarming moment when it's right after they're in the and essentially in the cage together where they give themselves their names, you know, Teeth and Floor and Lila and then Rocket, and the way, you know, Rocket's whole thing, we find out that it's because he wanted it to fly away with his friends and stuff, and that's how they would do at the end and everything. And it was that I can see where people would get, you know, teared up and stuff like that in those moments. And the moment later on that we're referring to when it looks like basically Rocket did die and was going and then comes right back, is there, and it's the emotional weight of it is just it's tremendous. It really is. I understand why people were crying at times in the film. I totally understand.
Yeah, no, I absolutely do too.
Wow, I think I did hear that too.
Wow, you know what? I'm not like, shit on John Cena.
I was like, when the hell did he work with John Cena? I'm such an idiot. No, my mind went Fast and Furious movies and MCU, and I'm like, what the fuck are you, a fucking peacemaker? Yeah.
So I guess that also could bring us to whatever. Before we get to High Evolutionary, Adam Warlock. So I know I can tell by talking to you, Jader, and Jason and I had our talks, and even my wife, I'll mention her too. It seems like that's the universal kind of ding about this is Adam Warlock.
He was, I think, honestly,
it's not Adam Warlock.
Yeah, it's not. And I think it was maybe a premature thing where maybe this wasn't supposed to be the final Guardians movie. Obviously, you know, all the shit that went with Gunn, and now he's at DC and all this shit. Well, the DC thing is kind of new, and this movie was already filmed. But essentially, maybe there wasn't a deal to make another one. I don't know. I felt like maybe they teased them at the end of 2. And maybe there was no storyline for him, and then they were like, "Hey, remember that tease? We got to do it, bro." And
set that up, by the way.
And then he's like, "Fuck," you know, and kind of like penciled him in throughout, but that wasn't Adam Warlock for me. So like the whole time, the closest to Adam Warlock that we got in that film was the very beginning of the movie.
When he shows up and wrecks shit on the Guardians,
fucking everybody up. that for me was Adam Warlock throughout. But then they made him like, you know, they MCU'd him. You know, he got a little goofy. You can tell he's young and all that stuff.
I kind of look at him like I look at Taskmaster from the Black Widow movie.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like if this was named anything else, I'd like it. If this was Fred Warlock, I'd be like, this was a fucking cool character. I like him. I like the fact that he was childlike and really powerful, and that's interesting. But his name wasn't Fred Warlock; it was Adam Warlock, and Adam Warlock has a huge fingerprint on specifically like the Thanos stuff in the the Marvel Universe in the comics, which is why I'm a fan of him. So like to see him like this, it's like this. I like the character, but this wasn't Adam Warlock, and now I'll never see an Adam Warlock proper.
So I think that my perspective is this. So obviously we're not going to see him with the Infinity Stones and Infinity Watch and all of that crap. We're never going to see that, right? So we all knew that. Yeah, we all knew that wasn't. Once we knew he was in this movie, we knew the deal. I would say not a huge fan of him in this movie. He is super powerful, though. I'll give him that. Played for comedy in this, but like you said, kind of somewhat MCU-fied. But he is on the Guardians team, on the next Guardians team, and he's one of their heavy hitters. Because when we talk about more about the next Guardians team, they do have some heavy hitters on that team.
Yes.
Now, if he continues, because this is an infant Adam Warlock, and they do acknowledge that in his film. He's kind of still getting early, and they mentioned High Evolutionary took him out of the cocoon too early, so he's kind of like infant Adam Warlock. Seeing where he goes down the line could, for me, make this a little bit better. But if this is the only Adam Warlock we're getting ever, then I will hold my ding against this movie for that. But if it's just his introduction, then I can be more forgiving eventually.
No, and I'm sure we will be, because we're going to see him again, and we got to just see what happens. It was just he didn't need to be in this movie.
Oh, totally agreed. Totally agree.
Yep, agree.
You know, besides obviously what happens to Rocket, like anybody could have, and Will Poulter is such a great actor, and I felt like he did nothing to really stand out either. Like anybody could have really played this role. I just hope it gets, and it's not his fault. This is writing. This is all writing.
No, there's just nothing there for him.
There's nothing there. So I love him as an actor. I think he's great. He's fantastic. I'm excited to see the future, but this wasn't it. Like for me, it wasn't it. That was one of my few complaints, to be completely honest with you. Also, I hated that Star-Lord did not use his mask once. I wanted to see it one time, because even
I thought that at the end of the movie, I'm like, is he going to use the mask?
Yeah, the mask.
Forget it at home.
What happened? It's the mask. Yeah. So again, I kind of hated that we don't get to see Star-Lord use. You know, we don't get to see Star-Lord essentially. Saw Peter Quill. And that was one of my other complaints where I'm like, what the hell is this mask? I honestly thought as he was jumping, we were gonna have a badass, and then he was gonna blast off, but then he just
and that would have looked cool.
Yeah,
because that's a question throughout this movie.
Yeah, dude. So I hate that was one of my the Warlock thing, the group meeting Rocket. Yeah, I love that he finally says I'm Rocket Raccoon. That was cool.
Yes,
that was awesome.
He name drops himself. I'm like, when he starts reading that he's a raccoon, I'm like, finally he sees it.
And I think it's hysterical because
cool. And he's from Earth. We also established he's from Earth, so
yeah.
And he's always saying, "I'm not a raccoon. I'm not a raccoon." That moment, like he owns it. I am Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, and then I love that, and I love that every single person in this film calls him a different animal. Yeah. Every scene, it is a different animal. Yeah, badger, gerbil, hamster. I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" I thought that was hilarious, man. But
so let's talk about the villain of the film. We get High Evolutionary here. Jason, go ahead. You're chomping, so go ahead.
I am. This is the most evil, in my opinion. This is the most evil villain we've got in the MCU. I fucking love this villain. It's essentially a billionaire.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
With his own corporation playing God. I love the actor who they got, which I didn't realize, because there are certain actors that I don't see them as anything but their role. So when you told me that this was the guy from Peacemaker, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because he was so good at this. I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
He's chilling. like he has such a range of like emotion. Like he has this like moment where he seems compassionate with Rocket, but then in that very same tone, he's like condemning him to death. Like, and guys, this guy commits genocide in this movie.
Yeah, he wipes
everyone
out
on that planet.
Yeah,
is destroyed.
Everyone.
The Guardians don't save them.
I thought they were gonna have like a kind of not a revert, not like a time stone thing, but I thought they were gonna manage to grab people and you know the Guardians do what the Guardians do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Essentially what they did with the kids, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen, bro.
No.
They die.
These creatures are all dead.
It's like the Death Star, man. Dude. They just get wiped out like so many.
Like, what the fuck, dude? So I'm on board with you guys all the way till the end. I thought it doesn't ruin his ranking to me or anything. It's just lower. I had him like really high in a pedestal as I was watching the film throughout. I felt like at the end, he just started screaming too much, and he lost very easily. Very easily. Mind you, he's getting his ass kicked by 5 different fucking
the entire team.
The whole team is going in on this guy.
Yeah.
But I felt like he could have been a little bit more manipulative at the end and more sneaky. Like he could have killed Rocket. Yeah. You know, when Rocket's looking at the other raccoons and all that, and he pops up right behind him. He could have done like that's what I thought was.
Well, remember he wanted Rocket's brain.
No, I know that. But like part of me said, hey, he could have grabbed him, anything, you know. For the ranking that I had this guy like up there where I'm like, oh, this guy is, and he's fucking evil. You know, I wanted a little bit more of him. I felt like we had some, but I wanted more of him. But at the end, it was one of those where we obviously need to wrap this film up, and our good guys have to win. You know, but that was that, and honestly, it's just very little to ask. So I think he knocked it out of the park, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I thought he was great, and especially that. And I agree with you guys as far as it goes with evil, right? Because we've seen some of the best MCU villains. You could understand why they're going. Like even Thanos, you could understand what he's getting at. You know, Killmonger, you see,
crazy.
Yeah, see where he's going with. Even Vulture, who I have very high up there too.
I love Vulture.
Yeah, Vulture's but you can understand why
I think his motivation. #Vulture is right.
Yeah, you can understand it. But with High Evolutionary, that one line that he has when he was like, there is no God, and that's why I had to step in. That's when his people are like, all right, this guy's done.
This guy's nuts.
They'll start pulling out their guns then and like, listen, he's gone.
And I love that standoff, bro, where everybody's just pointing their guns at him, and this guy's like, he just bro. I was like, what the fuck?
He's like, you didn't think I didn't see this coming?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
He is, I mean, yeah, even like the stuff with the animals and stuff like that, and that obviously gets you like how evil this motherfucker is. And then when he tells Rocket, like, you thought you were going to the new world? What? You and your friends are just
terrible
fucking test subjects. Get out of here. Like, no, you're going to be incinerated.
Yeah. No, man.
God.
And you know,
asshole.
The worst part is that he told him. The worst part isn't even that he was going to do it. It's that he told him. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Let him die happy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to the new world now, and no, he didn't give a fuck. He was just like, yeah, you're not fucking going. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then when they talk about, well, obviously they joke. Well, that's what led to the genocide, where they're like, oh yeah, the perfect planet, but you have people selling meth or whatever the hell they have in the corners and all that. Which was insane to me because it was pretty funny when you were watching it actually happen. And then he's like, yeah, this is why we're out, you know?
Yeah, I tried. That's it. Oh, well.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's my favorite of his lines because he's going off about how he's building the perfect society. And Quill goes, so your perfect society includes octopus people selling meth to people with roaches for heads? And High Evolutionary goes, no, admittedly not. Like I just thought it was so bad that's when he destroys it. I don't know, just his deflation was so funny to me.
Yeah, man. And it makes you want to know what's crazy that, you know, as that's happening, my first thought was the Bat family, because they were bats, right? The ones that took them into the home.
Yes,
they looked like bats to me.
Yeah, they were.
So I felt so bad where I'm like, are we going to see them? No, bro, they fucking died.
No, they're dead.
Everybody, there's kids there, the whole nine, dead. And insane. And I love And one of the reasons why I started thinking right after that scene that Peter was gonna die was when he finds his way out and they find their way in, and then they're like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, you know, they do the switch, and Nebula's like, "What do you mean you're not on the ship?" And he goes, "You know, I always find a cool way to make it out. I always do this."
And then the group pretty much says it, and it's like, "How is that a cool way out?"
Yeah. He's like, "You almost killed yourself." But then you see when he grabs the air compressor, if you will, I don't know, when he's grabbing that thing, he's running out right at the end, and I'm like, "Oh, he thinks he's gonna have a cool way." I'm like, "Fuck, he's gonna die." That's when it started, like the hamster wheel started like really spinning, where I thought he wasn't gonna, and then it happens, and I'm like, I was so shocked at that I'm like, did they just fucking kill Quill? And I'm just so shocked that I'm not sad right now. I'm just shocked. So it obviously it goes back to that. But when he says that line, it's kind of when I triggered, I'm like, oh, he might not make it out of this. Jason might be right, dude.
I was thinking it. I fully admit it. They had me. They had me ready to go.
Yeah, me too. Again, I had forgotten about Adam Warlock. No, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to move on to Craggle and Cosmo.
All right, let's move on.
But all right, no other characters. I really enjoyed. You know, you got to see Craggle and his whole thing where he was continuing with, you know, Yondu and mastering the whole you know, fucking dart thing that he's got going on. But then he has the relationship with Cosmo, and who I didn't even realize, totally forgot she was cast in this movie, is Maria Bakalova from the second Borat movie, who she's the one who voices Cosmo.
She does Cosmo.
Yeah. I love Cosmo. I mean, whatever. I'm
Cosmo's
a dog lover too, so Cosmo's fucking hysterical. It's called
awesome.
A Bad Dog. I was just like depressed about the whole fucking movie.
And the whole movie, she's just like trying to like just get him to say good dog, man. Oh my god! And she had her moment. She had that dope moment, that pancake moment with that splat, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!"
Pretty powerful, man. And Cosmo fucking space dog over there.
Awesome, dude. That was so awesome.
I love the fact that she, I like the fact that she is a dog. Even though she's super intelligent, she's still a dog, and so she's a super intelligent dog. So that whole business about like, no, I'm a good boy, I'm a good dog, I'm a good dog. Like, because of course that's important. She's still a dog, like it's brilliant.
And then the delicious treat. She's gonna have delicious, all that shit. Fantastic, man. It was good stuff, dude.
I had me cracking up the whole movie and how much it was like destroying her world that she was called a bad dog.
Yeah.
When they're all sitting there playing poker.
Yeah. No. I love that scene, dude.
He called me a bad dog, and Howard the Duck's like, "Would you tell her she's a good dog already?"
And even bring back the not the collector. I forgot his name from the first.
Yeah, the guy from for the first one that
wants to buy the orb.
Denies the Power Stone. Yeah,
exactly.
You know who that is?
No.
That's Lloyd Kaufman.
Is it really?
The head of the Troma Studios, because I caught his name in the credits at the end.
Okay.
Oh,
but
shit.
I'm pretty like that's Lloyd Kaufman. So that I thought that was crazy that they've got like him in this movie.
Yeah. That's cool.
So speaking of specific scenes, like highlights that that we didn't touch on. So the ones we did touch on vaguely was that badass scene when we get the Guardians money shot essentially.
Yes, it was the Guardians money shot.
It was the Guardians money shot
with the perfect song playing.
Oh yeah,
No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I was like, hell yes, dude.
Yeah,
that's a kick-ass
dude.
song.
I'm a huge Beastie fan, so for me that was like, fuck yes.
No,
and everybody shines in that scene. There is not one person, and it's just like that one shot, one take as you're like kind of going through everybody doing their shit.
It reminded me of the Avengers.
Yeah,
in the first Avengers movie, they have that shot like that in the Battle of New York, where they go through everybody.
And I'm gonna fast forward to the very end of the scene though, but Gamora doing that final kill for me was just like a fucking chef's kiss, because it looked to me, and we already touched on this, like comic book Gamora.
Yes, exactly.
For me, that's how I pictured her, and just that sly, like smug fucking we took over this shit look from her, and that shot because you kind of have everybody on the background, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And that's another scene where I turned over to my brother and I was like, dude, this scene was a 10 out of 10, like hands down. Like the scene before that for me was my favorite scene was the whole depression scene with Lila and Rocket.
The emotional scene was
the emotional. I'm like, man, that was great, and I loved the beginning. I really did love that opening to that film so much. Like from the credits rolling, which we'll talk about right now, to the obviously them trying to go on that mission to save Rocket. So there's a lot of moments that I really did love throughout this film, but like this was a true Guardian fashion, just badassery, dude, where I was like, fuck yes, dude. If this is the last film, like I'm happy. Like the movie could have ended right there, and I was like, yo, like fuck. Yeah. It was just so good.
And one of my favorite things too was seeing Rocket back on Groot's shoulder, fucking blasting fucking people at the same time. Yeah, and that when he jumps off the shoulder and he has that shot in midair,
that shot it kind of like freezes, and then
that was sick. So fucking sick.
Yeah, dude.
And I think something that makes this movie a bit more tragic is if you keep in mind that Rocket's the only Guardian of the Galaxy that wasn't blipped.
Yeah.
Like Rocket had to live that 7 or 8 years without his family.
Well, him and Nebula.
All right, Nebula, yeah, but Nebula wasn't.
Nebula.
Yeah.
Oh no, OG. He wasn't.
Nebula wasn't
OG,
like a proper guard. Yeah. But like so, you know, or actually that even strengthens why their relationship is so close, right? Why they're such good friends. But
we don't know what happened between those 5 years because they were still hanging. They were still together. You know
exactly.
Yeah,
but. You know, the fact that Rocket goes through all that loss and then loses his other family in the blip, like, you know, it kind of makes this a bit more tragic too, to find out what happened to him and the loss of his like initial family of like weird test subject creatures.
No, that's a totally fair stuff. I'm going to be honest, I didn't think about prior, but you're right. Like, that really does add more to the weight of this.
Yeah. What about when I said opening credits? How did you guys take like this first time watch? Obviously, you didn't take like a deep like breath like when you start seeing the Marvel credits roll out and it's only Guardians.
Yeah, like this was it.
I was
it
like,
felt very finale.
And I was like, oh no. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready right now, man.
And then also the mindset going into the movie, because again, what we talked about last week, where we were all at with this, and we were expecting death and sadness and everything like to like the extreme. And you're right. Once the Marvel thing starts rolling, and it wasn't even like I can't remember when was the last time they used the music. I don't even. It's been a while.
That's right.
I don't think they used it for Quantumania. I don't think they used it for. They definitely didn't use it for Black Panther. They didn't use it for No Way Home. They didn't use it for Infinity War or Endgame.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah,
it's been a while. So even when you don't get the music, then too, it made me think of like when you see only Guardians, and it made me think like with Captain Marvel where they use Stan Lee and then Chadwick Boseman and Wakanda Forever. I'm like, oh man, they're setting us up.
It's all death. Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna fucking die. Rick is right. They're all gonna die.
So I'm like, fuck. As soon as it started, I'm sitting down. I'm there. I'm happy. Obviously, we're gonna see Guardians. And the credits start rolling, and I honestly did this. I'm like, fuck. And then they start with Creep.
Yeah.
And
so they're really setting you up for it.
Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah, because I've said many times before when I used to see the Marvel credits, the Marvel title come in and the music would hit, I would get like fucking goosebumps and everything. The hair would stand up. I'm like, ooh, let's go.
Every time. I love that. Dun, 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 dun. Like, it's just so great. But yeah, no, absolutely. I was a little. That's why I said I was hooked from the very beginning, and I actually meant the Marvel credits. And I think that the Rocket walking around, obviously, you see Peter's obviously drunk off his ass, depressed, super depressed. So I had certain moments in there. I'm like, oh, I love this. Oh, I love this. Like, so there was a lot of I love these moments in this movie. But my number one was obviously that hallway scene. That shit was a chef's kiss. It was badass. It's actually, and I'm not gonna bullshit you, I think it's it's in my top favorite MCU moments. It like skyrocketed, no pun intended, up there. Just the way it made me feel, to be honest with you. I couldn't stop smiling. I couldn't stop bobbing my head because of the song. It was just perfect, man. Perfect, dude.
I would have to make a list of that one day.
We gotta do that.
We make a list of MCU moments. That's a great idea, actually, because I didn't think of that.
And then we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it real hard and just do a top 10. Top 10 of the how many films do we have now?
I think I could come up with a top 10
or something like that, or 29.
Yeah. So I think we should do that one episode, just top MCU moments.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's
the Snap is up there for me.
Yeah. Oh no, there's so many. Don't ruin it. We're gonna have some great.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot to think about. There's
I'm just thinking out loud.
Moments.
No, this is gonna be very somber moments for me. Trust me.
Yeah,
I already know. But
so I guess that would take. Oh, Jason, do you have any specific moments that maybe we didn't touch on? You wanted to or scenes from the movie?
You know what? I would like to talk about that final post-credit scene if we have, unless that's a different.
That's where we're gonna head to. Let's get into the post-credits and where everyone.
Okay, yeah, let's get. Let's get into that.
So before we get to the post, let's touch on the mid. Then the mid-credit scene introduces us to the new Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, that's who we have now. We can speculate about right after where we think we're going to see them again. I think we probably all agree. I have a feeling we're all going to agree on where we think we're going to see them next. But Rocket's the leader of it. We get fucking super jacked up Groot that's in here too. Adam Warlock. Yeah, we get Adam Warlock is there. Who am I forgetting now? Cosmo. We get Craggle. And it was also the young girl who was
one of the young girls.
Yes, that's right.
Who I'm gonna butcher her name, but one of the I was reading an article there too, so I'm not gonna act like I came up with this on my own. But in the comics, she's apparently they believe she's a character who's Captain Marvel's daughter in the comics. That's here that is extremely super powered. So I did want to go ahead and pull that up. I admittedly I was reading something on this, and that's where this came from. Captain Marvel's daughter, and obviously for those.
Well, I mean, obviously that's not going to be what she is now.
No, she's not, because they can say she's from the High Evolutionary this time. But I was going to go ahead and nope. I wanted to bring that up because that's the speculation of who this possibly is. And I cannot go ahead and find this article for the life of me because I should have written the damn thing down. So you can go ahead and speculate from that scene while I'm looking this up if you give me a second.
It says her name is Phyla.
Yes. Yeah. And that's well, again, she's gonna have a totally different origin story in this, but that's who the belief is of. That's who this character is, mainly because of the white hair and some of the powers that she displays in the brief scenes that we do see her in the film. So I'm kind of curious to know where they're gonna go with her in that. But if that's who you have with a super-powered Groot, Adam Warlock. I mean, we also saw what Cosmo can do now. You've got some heavy hitters on this fucking new Guardians team. They're not to be fucked with, man.
No, not at all. And I love the tune that they played.
Yes, that's what we opened up with. We had to. Dude, we didn't open up with No Streets of Brooklyn, of course. But then I'm like, but this ties it together. So this love, on it to tie it all together. Yeah,
that was so good. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
I'm not gonna lie, that one may have got me a little choked up for a second. Because I was like, "Oh, there it is." Yeah,
there it is. No, absolutely, man, absolutely.
So,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
With these new Guardians, right? Because we pretty much have shed all of these superstars, right, in the cast. Do you think we're gonna get like an MCU like television show, like a Guardians adventure? Because like Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel are all voice acting, so I'm sure they'll do it. And like, who else are they paying?
Kraglin is the only one that maybe, because I feel like he only works with his brother.
Yeah.
You get me? Because it is Sean Gunn. But I don't see why not. I think it'd be a really good idea, to be honest with you.
An MCU Disney Plus show?
A little Disney Plus show, the Avengers of the Guardians of the Galaxy, if you will, or the new Guardians of the Galaxy. I
think the next time we're gonna see them is
Secret
Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty, you think they're gonna go for Kang? I don't know why. I feel like they're gonna probably save them for later.
Secret Wars?
Maybe.
Well, I think it would be bottom line. I think it'll be an Avengers movie. I think it'll be because in the Avengers movies, everyone becomes an Avenger, literally. Then,
Yeah,
and they bring
literally.
the active hero.
Everybody gets knighted.
Yeah, everyone is
already an Avenger.
Right now, let's go. So that's my guess. Is the next time we'll see them. But the post-credit scene does show Peter on Earth living with his grandfather, and they're having a conversation about mowing the lawn and stuff of the neighbor, and his grandfather is reading a newspaper, and on the front of it says that
Kevin Bacon tells
all about his abduction, which I thought was fucking great. Like, if you didn't spot it, then that's another huge nod to the holiday special. And after that, huge letters, the legendary Star-Lord will return. Not the Guardians of the Galaxy, but legendary Star-Lord.
Yep.
So, and I told Jason after the film, I'm like, so once Peter Quill's on Earth, I'm like, all right, so, I mean, we see shit happen on Earth all the time. He's not just going to sit on his farm and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm
good.
Yeah,
I've been there, done that already.
Nah, yeah, we're not going to get that. So when the hell are we going to see Star-Lord again? I think that's
what do we got coming up?
I honestly think that it might be something that might be getting what Jason's saying. That may be leading to a Disney Plus show. You
think Star-Lord Disney Plus show?
It could happen. Yeah, it could happen, man. I think they, especially with, you touched on this earlier, how much money this movie's made, how much people love these characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no reason to shelf them right now.
Agreed.
Especially coming off the high that is Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, bro, can you imagine Peter Quill and fucking Kevin Bacon going on an adventure together?
That would be awesome. Give me a 6-episode fucking series, limited series of that. Yeah,
be fucking awesome.
You know, so
that would be great.
Something along those lines. I'm sure Gunn will be a definitely EP throughout the MCU's run with anything Guardians. They're gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, just pencil us in or give us some notes so we can. Where would you take this type shit?" I don't think he's gonna fully let go of these characters completely. I feel like he will. If let's say the last time we do see him is Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, I guarantee you he's gonna be there, like saying like, "Hey, we should do this with these characters," kind of what he did with Infinity War.
Yeah, I was gonna say with Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah, he took care of the Guardian scenes. That was his input, his take, his vision. You know, but
and there's no reason not to. Like, it's not like DC and Marvel are really rivals. It's like
it's the fandom that made them rivals.
Right, exactly.
That's where the rivalry is between.
That's where the rivalry is. It's fans,
which is stupid because, like, I mean, whatever, you can like both. Yes, if I had to pick one, yes, I would pick Marvel. But I also love a lot of things in DC as well. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, dude. So
it's not a rivalry. They're taking my money regardless what you do.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it was Kevin Feige that has said a bunch of times where he wants DC films to do well because, again, the general public just sees superhero film. So they don't give a shit what it is. So if there's some bombs getting thrown out there, they're not going to see his next film. So that could hurt it as well.
Right.
That's smart business.
I agree, man. I agree. I'm really, and again, the shock of the fact that our heroes did survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad they did because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to the Guardians, you know?
No,
Jason was saying that, you know, he was saying that this is probably his favorite franchise of the MCU, or it's up there for him, right? If you're thinking the Thor movies and the Iron Man, the only one that I think I honestly rivals are the Captain America films. But Captain America films kind of cheat at the end because it's Avengers 2.0 essentially.
Well, Civil War.
That's what I mean.
Doesn't. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay. By the end,
at the end, it kind of cheats.
I agree.
Yeah. Again, Winter Soldier remains my favorite. Like, not counting the Avengers because that's just cheating, like I said.
Yeah.
But like, if you're talking about films, so like, you know, I still say that I like it more the Infinity War and Endgame, but that's a lie. That it's better. I was like, it can't be, man, you know. But I still say it. So everyone's like, what is your favorite MCU film? I will forever say The Winter Soldier, even though it's probably Infinity War and Endgame. And I kind of count Infinity War and Endgame as one film, like Godfather 1 and 2.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
You can't have. I can't. So I'm like the Infinity Saga for me. I'm not saga, but like those two for me are one film. But I wasn't ready to say goodbye to these characters, and I'm glad we didn't have to. I'm glad that we're still keeping them around. I'm glad that we got that reassurance that we will see them again.
Yes.
At least with Chris Pratt, because he's the one that I didn't think we were going to see again.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me thought that if anybody survives, it was no way they were going to kill Quill because of what's coming with Kang.
Yeah.
There's no way that they're not going to use him. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe they don't need to. There's certain characters, Adam Warlock, like, you don't have to have somebody in a movie. Maybe he just didn't fit. And we didn't see Jeremy. We didn't see Hawkeye in Infinity War or Ant-Man.
Yeah, or Ant-Man. They were both gone.
They were both gone, and then they played a major role. So I'm just glad that we're gonna get them. They reassured us you will see these guys again. We don't know when, but you will. And that for me is what made me truly happy as a fan. You really don't want to let go of certain characters.